So I got 5 minutes. I got so much to share with you guys, but thank you for coming. My name is Christy. So I'm just going to quickly go through some character personas that really define the way I shape my whole website. So there's basically 4 words that I kind of found within each of my characters. Clarity, focus, smooth, and speed. So for Steven, he's just like this really smart guy, and he's actually retiring. So basically what he needs is to have an app that's going to keep him up to date with all the newer advances and newer technologies. So because he's retiring, it's going to be a challenge to like find an app that can keep up to date but also be smooth and it's easy to use.
Kept himself in very good shape.
And then Brittany, she's like the bad test taker. She's kind of like me, I guess. So she needs that like focus, that like point in the website that'll be easier for her to navigate through. So that'll be the challenge is kind of comparing that persona from Brittany to Steven, because Steven's like he wants all the high tech and then she wants it just simple. So you have to have her focus. Then Sarah, she's really popular, so she doesn't really have time for like anything that's challenging. So it's just another thing to add on to like the clarity and how smooth the process goes. Also, she would use this app for like party music, so that'd be really cool as well. And Rashna, she's like that buff chick, you know. So she's really fast in track and field, and so an app that would be fast would be awesome for her because she doesn't want to be slowed down by anything. So yeah, those are my 4 character personas. Basically, just reminding you, so clarity, focus, smooth, and speed. And then when I go through my app today, my prototype, I just want you to know I'm going to do two versions. So I'm going to basically show you how I add the playlist. And then the second thing I'm going to show is something that's, oh, spoiler alert, futuristic. You have to think about the future. You can't just like, what looks good. You have to, I feel like the thought process is what's more important rather than showing like a cool way to show something. Because we're all designers. We all know that we can make something look good. So going with the prototype, I started with just kind of like the way Apple TV would look. And then so this is my app down here. So when you click on it, it's a little splash screen kind of loading. You guys mentioned like bringing in that phone feature. So I subtly like added it on the bottom. But I think Sam and I were talking about how it's important to, because the navigation through Apple TV is not very, it's smooth, but it's not very easy. You have to like one letter at a time. So I think being able to connect to the phone is really important. But for my prototype, I went through register, like a new user. And it's important because not everybody has a phone. I mean, you got to think of it that way too, because sometimes maybe they'll lose their phone when they can't use the app just because their phone's broken or something. You know, you got to think of all the possibilities. So basically, the way you log in is if the username isn't taken, or if it is taken, it would tell you. But if it's solid, then you get the rock on symbol, and then just some presets right here. Also, the kind of the style that I was going for was because they're celebrating their 30th anniversary. I kind of wanted this like hand-drawn celebration type of style, which is somewhat brought out through my whole layout. So after you click all those, you register, and it's going to bring you to the home screen. So I thought for like an Apple TV app, the banner is like really cool to get you like right into the like what the app is. So you're seeing like this concert, which is really cool. But I think for me, seeing a banner constantly is super busy. So I added like the arrow right here to hide it. You can always pull it back down because there is some valuable information on there, which I'm going to get into more later, which is the futuristic part of my prototype. But the first thing I want to show you is how you would add music. So right now this is my stations. Because we're a new user, you're not seeing any station. So I'm going to show you how you would add and what it would look like once you add it. So go to artists. Basically it'd be alphabeticalized, kind of at least the very first thing that you see from artists, alphabeticalized, and also kind of like popularity, even though we're not under the popular. I feel like it has to kind of incorporate all of those to give you the best possible solutions, even though you're a new user. So I picked Suicide Silence, and then basically you would hover over it and it would turn red when you hover over these icons. And then you'd add to playlist, and this menu would pop up. So you can either void what you just did by hitting the X, or you can create a new station or existing. But obviously, because we're a new user, you can't add it to an existing station. So we're going to go ahead and add it to a new one. Success. You create a new station. So you, like I said, you can either exit out of that if you just want to add that, or you could go to stations. And so this is basically what it would look like. So then you can go there and select it and play it from there. My favorite part of my prototype, though, is when it comes to futuristic aspect, is when it goes to events and how they can be live. So I think in the next prototype, because like I said, this part of the banner is really important for my futuristic part, so I just had that pop up there, but the next thing that I click, it goes away. So basically, what this prototype is thinking of like a live concert, but then you could be there even though you're not there. So using virtual reality goggles to put onto your head, it's almost like if you're combining a 360-degree video with Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go puts these virtual objects in midair while you're watching like real life. So it's kind of like that concept. By going through the prototype, you can create your own avatar. And so basically, once you've had all your settings, you'll hit save. You have to put a name, just like how you log in. It'll give that rock on. And then you have to create an acronym, but a signature. Like so, initials. So PG is for Paul Guy. You'd hit save. I call them Rockin Tars. So it's like a mix of Rockin Records and Avatar. So they're Rockin Tars. It also kind of sounds like guitar and dinosaur, but you know, whatever, it's all good. It's awesome. So then you would go to the Search Live events, because obviously we're here for a reason. We want to go to a concert from our backyard. Why not? It'd be really awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and pick System of a Down. And so I have this page right here, so just imagine that. So like Pokemon Go mixed with like a 360-degree video. So the first thing that you would do is when you're looking forward, you would see the concert, which is the first thing that you see. So this would be like that view. I'm not like super familiar with After Effects, so I kind of showed it in like a picture form, and then I took a video of what like the user would be from like a third-person view. So then when you look to the left, there you see Billy. Hey Billy, he's over there, which is really awesome. And then you look back to the front, you can jam out to the concert. Do you have the controller for the Apple TV?
It's behind the Fire TV.
So, use this. But yeah, so also you would be holding this because you could show the gestures to your friends when you're looking over like this and rock out. You can jump. And then you look to the right, and there's Sarah, like, what up? So you guys say hi to her, which is really cool. And then I'm going to show you. Go into this virtual world. Once you put the goggles on, the user is able to see the concert like I had showed you in the photos before. Once you put it on, obviously you have to hear, so you can pull the sound pieces out and plug that in, giving you an ultimate sound quality concert, which is super awesome. And then you just start rocking out. Remember, when you look to the left or to the right, you can see your friends. Lots of either jump or drop on or do all this kind of stuff. So I think even though this isn't a thing, I can see this happening and being super badass. Like I feel like this would be so fun to just rock out and like just get really into it. It's also a really affordable way to go to a concert because most of them are really expensive. But yeah, that's my futuristic prototype for Rockin Records.
Great pitch.
That was really awesome. And that was,
Yeah. I wrote down should go into strategy. And I think that's, I think everybody has like very different aspects of how they would come up or present a concept like this. And I think your strength definitely lies in coming up with something different and being able to like present it to people. And I think it was very impressive.
yeah, it was a really great idea. And I just want to also touch on the personas and user research, because that's also, we can all come up with a design or an idea, but grounding it in what the user actually needs, I think was great, and that's really important.
Yeah, you didn't present an interface, you presented an idea.
Yeah.
And I think that was very clear, and I bought it.
Yeah, it was great.
I feel like I'm Shark Tank. It's amazing. Like, let me make you an offer.
Yeah, it was great. Like I have one minor piece of feedback, which is I think is relatively unimportant, because I think this was really about the big idea and not about the interface. But I think when you show the user up front, when you had all these empty screens, I would say it's better to show them something rather than a full screen of like yeah, sometimes the user doesn't want to have to go through a process to start watching something. So I think even just suggesting a couple of things underneath the row of like the empty plus signs, but I mean that was very, very minor, and honestly I just think this idea was so cool. Like as Christian said, it was all about the big idea, which I loved.
Thank you.
Cool.